The Second Kashmir War, fought in 1965 between India and Pakistan, was a significant conflict rooted in the long-standing and bitter dispute over the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. It was the second major war between the two countries since their independence in 1947, following the First Kashmir War, 1947-1948. This war had far-reaching implications for South Asia and the geopolitics of the region. Here's a comprehensive overview of its history. Background to the conflict. The origins of the Second Kashmir War can be traced back to the unresolved territorial status of Jammu and Kashmir, following the partition of British India in 1947. At the time of partition, princely states were given the option to join either India or Pakistan. The Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir, Hari Singh, chose to accede to India under pressure following an invasion by tribal militias supported by Pakistan. This led to the First Kashmir War, which ended with the establishment of the Line of Control, LOC, and a United Nations brokered ceasefire in 1949. Despite this, Kashmir remained a disputed territory, with both India and Pakistan claiming it in full, but each controlling only part of it. By the early 1960s, tensions had escalated again. The Sino-Indian War of 1962, in which India suffered a defeat against China, emboldened Pakistan's belief that India was militarily weakened and politically vulnerable. Pakistan also believed that a large-scale uprising was imminent in Indian-administered Kashmir due to perceived discontent among the Muslim population. Under this assumption, Pakistan planned a covert operation to incite rebellion. Operation Gibraltar. The war began with Pakistan launching Operation Gibraltar in August 1965. This was a secret mission involving thousands of armed Pakistani soldiers disguised as Kashmiri locals who infiltrated Jammu and Kashmir with the aim of sparking an insurgency against Indian rule. The operation was based on the flawed assumption that the Kashmiri population would rise against Indian authorities and welcome the infiltrators as liberators. However, the local population did not respond as expected. Instead, Indian forces quickly detected the infiltrators and began aggressive counter-insurgency operations. The failure of Operation Gibraltar prompted Pakistan to initiate a more conventional military offensive, Operation Grand Slam. In response to the failure of the guerrilla campaign, Pakistan launched Operation Grand Slam on September 1, 1965. This was a conventional military assault aimed at capturing the strategic town of Akhnur in Jammu. Capturing Akhnur would cut off India's communication and supply lines to the Kashmir Valley. Although initially successful, the operation lost momentum due to strategic miscalculations and command changes. India responded with full-scale military action, crossing the international border in Punjab and opening a new front in the war. Full-scale war. With the crossing of the international border, the conflict escalated into a full-scale war involving air, naval, and ground forces. Major battles took place in Lahore, Sialkot, Khem-Karan, and Amritsar. The Indian Army made deep advances into Pakistani territory near Lahore, but stopped short of capturing the city, partly due to international pressure. One of the largest tank battles since World War II took place at Chawinda, near Sialkot. It involved hundreds of tanks from both sides and was among the fiercest confrontations of the war. The Indian Navy also launched limited operations, but did not play a major role, as the war remained primarily a land conflict. International involvement and ceasefire. The war drew considerable international attention. Both the United States and the Soviet Union, along with the United Nations, urged restraint. With increasing casualties, logistical strains, and no clear victor, both sides accepted a UN-mandated ceasefire on September 22, 1965, brokered by the Soviet Union and the United States. The ceasefire left the territorial status quo largely unchanged, with each side retaining its pre-war positions, though both had made minor gains and losses in different sectors. Tashkent Agreement. In January 1966, India and Pakistan signed the Tashkent Agreement, mediated by Soviet Premier Alexei Kosygin in Tashkent, USSR, now in Uzbekistan. Indian Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri and Pakistani President Ayub Khan agreed to withdraw to pre-war positions and restore diplomatic relations. Tragically, Prime Minister Shastri died in Tashkent soon after signing the agreement, leading to widespread speculation and conspiracy theories in India, though no conclusive evidence of foul play ever emerged. Aftermath and consequences. Military outcome. The war ended in a stalemate. While both India and Pakistan claimed victory, neutral assessments generally describe the result as inconclusive. India managed to hold its territory and repel Pakistani forces, while Pakistan failed to achieve its strategic goal of capturing Kashmir or instigating an uprising. Political repercussions. The war severely impacted Pakistan's domestic politics. The failure of the military strategy led to growing disenchantment with President Ayub Khan, ultimately contributing to his resignation a few years later. India's confidence boost. For India, the war was a demonstration of its military capabilities, especially in the wake of the 1962 humiliation against China. It boosted national morale and strengthened the role of the military in national defense planning. Kashmir dispute continues. Despite the war, the Kashmir issue remained unresolved. The conflict only deepened the hostility between the two nations and set the stage for future confrontations, including the 1971 war that led to the creation of Bangladesh. Role of superpowers. The war highlighted the Cold War dynamics in South Asia. While the US and the USSR both called for peace, their long-term alignments began to shift, with India leaning toward the USSR and Pakistan toward China and the United States. Legacy of the 1965 war. The Second Kashmir War is remembered as a pivotal moment in South Asian history. It underscored the deep-rooted animosity and mistrust between India and Pakistan, and how the Kashmir dispute could trigger large-scale violence. Although the war did not change territorial boundaries significantly, it had a lasting psychological and political impact on both nations. It also led to a re-evaluation of military preparedness and strategy in both countries. For Pakistan, the war was a humbling experience that exposed overconfidence in its military's ability to secure a quick victory. For India, it reinforced the importance of defense modernization and better intelligence gathering. In cultural memory, the 1965 war is commemorated with varying narratives in each country. In India, it is often portrayed as a successful defense against aggression, while in Pakistan, it is remembered as a noble effort against a much larger adversary.